hammer. So road grill and a baby mama. Black hair lack in the back of pampers. Back of questions with no answers. Cure for cancer, cure for AIDS. Make a nigga wanna stay on tour for days. Get back home, things are wrong. When not really, it was bad all along. Before you left ass up to a ball of power. Thoughts at 1,000 miles per hour. Hello ghetto, let your brain breathe. Believe there's always more. Don't pull the thing out unless you plan to bang. Yeah, don't leave it bang unless you plan to hit something. Don't pull the thing out unless you plan to bang. Yeah, don't leave it bang unless you plan to hit something. Uno, those traces on. Did you ever think of pimp rock a microphone like that there boy? It would still stay street. Big things happen every time we meet. Like a track team, crash ain't dying to geek. Outcast bumping up and down the street. Slam back, Cadillac by 5 niggas. Days 75 MCs freestyle to the beat. Cause we get crunk, stay drunk at the club. Should've bought an ounce, but you caught the dub. Should've held back, but you throw the punch. Supposed to meet you good, but you packed the lunch. No D to the U to the G for you. Got a son on the way by the name of Bamboo. Got a little baby girl for a year, Jordan. Never turn my back on my kids for them. Should've hit it, rag top. Before you re-up, get a laptop. Make a business for yourself, boy, set some goals. Make a fat dime out of dusty cold. Record number 4, but we on the road. Hold up, slow up, stop, control like Janet. Planet, stay on it's on ya. Moving like floor, come straight to Florida. Lock all your windows and block the quarters. Put it up on belt, cause the women's in order. Like a 3-piece bitch before I cut your daughter. Your kettle Taco Bell, then I hit the border. Penny pat rapper trying to get the 5. I'm a microphone fiend trying to stay alive. When you come to ATL, boy, you bet not high, cause the Dungeon family gon' ride. Don't pull the thing out unless you plan to bang. Yeah, don't leave it bang unless you plan to hit something. Yeah, don't pull the thing out unless you plan to bang. Yeah, don't leave bang unless you plan to hit something.
All right, what's up, YouTube, man? Your boy, Coach B, coming back for, I think, what is a critical video that's needed around this time, which is going to be passing 101 in the double wing the way I do it. Like I said, I am not the authority on passing in the double wing, but today I'm just going to talk about why and when I pass, the different sets I use to pass, which are specific to my system, and like little modifications to plays that I've made over the years that I have found to be successful. So before I get into that, first of all, I want to thank all my new coaches, man. I kind of knew this was going to happen right around the beginning of football season in like June, July, when coaches start getting geared up and getting ready for the systems they're going to run. I kind of expected like a swell of like emails and, stuff coming in and traffic. And I was not prepared for literally all the attention that my page has been getting. I get emails every single day. The manuals that I retail, that I continue to sell, manuals and playbooks, are literally overwhelming the amount of enthusiasm and the purchases that have been made. And all those new coaches, I know all you guys found me from these videos, so I appreciate every single one of you. New coaches that are coming on board, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit your boy Coach B, because I want to keep the double wing alive. This is an offense that has brought me great success, and I want to just basically spread the literacy of what the double wing is as an offense. So, again, I'm going to discuss passing in the double wing, and kind of some things I do and kind of some things I look for. Now, understand at the end of the day, my offense's philosophy is to run the ball. I mean, I try to say run the ball 100% of the time. Now, understand as coaches that you would love to have that approach. And if your running is working, have there been games where I've never thrown a single pass and won the game? Absolutely. Because if your running game is working, there's no sense in trying to just throw passes. There's really no need for it. If your running game is that sound, and I try to get my teams to have my running game being that sound. Now, the defense is going to do things to take away the fact that you are running the ball nearly 100% of the time. And they're going to start creeping guys in the box. There's going to be 10-man fronts, 11 guys in the box. You'll see. So what you're essentially going to see is you're going to see basically the defense completely giving up on thinking that you're going to pass the ball, you're going to throw the ball. And those are the times that you would want to throw the ball. Me personally, if I am going to throw, I will usually throw on second down. My team generally will come out and run a power on first down. So you guys as coaches that are coaching in the double wing, if you have pass plays that you want to practice or run or just use them to back the defense up, because sometimes it has that effect, just to complement your running game, because this isn't a passing offense. This is a pass when it is a good idea to pass because they can't stop you from running. Essentially, there's a couple of things I look for. Again, loaded fronts, safeties creeping up the box, a certain distance from the line of scrimmage, and that is generally when I will decide to throw. Now, there is some funny things that I will do when it comes to practicing, and not practicing, the pregame. You go out there and your teams are warming up, and the other team's like probably on the same field, and they're warming up at the same time, so they're watching you, kind of trying to see what it is that you do. I will do nothing but just run verticals, just throw bombs. Literally, I will probably spend the whole practice just having our kids just go vertical and just throwing bombs. Because by then my kids know the plays. We don't need to warm up by running our plays because we're about to run our plays in that ass in about 5 minutes. So I'll do that. I'll just throw nothing but Hail Marys. Make the other team think I'm just gonna come out and just throw the ball. Maybe spread teams that do that. I don't know, but I don't do that stuff. So those are some things I look for. Now, what are the types of plays that I run from both of my sets? Because the first I'm going to talk about some plays I run from under center. The plays that I use mainly from under center that you saw in the preview video is Ray flood pass right, a play called Nomo 4 go, which is essentially no motion, and you just have 4 guys going vertical. I will show this all on the whiteboard when we get into it. And then I use the complementary play to Ray flood pass right, which is rocket out flood pass right. And I plan on showing all 3 of those plays. Now, when it comes to Gunwing sorry guys, Mike's Hard Lemonade is not paying me, but had to get it down. Okay, so Gunwing. I feel that the Gunwing is a better passing formation than under center is, just because he's in the shotgun. As soon as he gets the ball, his eyes are up. He can see his receivers moving. Whereas from UC, he has to get the snap. He has to roll out of the pocket and then get his head wheeled around. And there's a lot more footwork. So keep that in mind, that the UC version is like the passes are generally slower developing plays because your quarterback has to get in position and roll to a certain point where he needs to be before he throws the ball. So when we get on the whiteboard, I'll just kind of talk all the timing of that. And all of my stuff, like if you notice, Ray flood pass right, rocket out flood pass right, Nomo 4 go. My Nomo 4 go is basically, Nomo is calling for no motion. God. Nomo's calling for no motion. So Nomo 4 go is, sorry, I'm having issues with my voice right now, my throat. So Nomo 4 go is essentially an explosive, no motion double wing play where you have 4 guys going vertical, both of your tight ends and both of your wings. Your wings are going to widen out to the numbers and go vertical. It's basically catching teams sleeping or just random reasons they got, like they're in a 10-1 and you just want to just bust it like right on them. I've done that literally in the first quarter on a team that we knew we were going to play and we knew they were going to immediately line up in like a 9-2. I came out and ran 134 power, and then the next play was Nomo 4 go for a touchdown because you're just not going to do that to me. So when we talk about passes, like I said, use passes as a complement to your running game and a high percentage type of pass play. And we're going to go over those today. So let's just get into it, man. Let's just get it on the whiteboard, man. My voice ain't getting no better. All right, let's just get right into it, man. So first of all, as you can see, I've drawn out The play call is bear, ray, flood pass right. Now, I'll just tell you guys, when I was an early starting double wing coach, this was pretty much my go-to pass play. If I had one pass play, it was this play right here. Now, one of the things I want to talk about with the alignment of the defense for this play. Now, the way that they're aligned, oh, sorry, I need to add their defensive end. Whoops. So the way they are aligned right now, I don't feel that bear, ray, flood pass right would be the call. So going back to some of the things that I look for, it's generally stuff like this. When I see defensive coordinators press me because they just feel that, like, you know, their corners are just kind of like canted in, they're on the line of scrimmage, or they just come down really close to like the, you know, the defensive end, because they're going to use them as like almost like additional pressure. When I see something like that, that's generally when I will start thinking about using bear, ray, flood pass right, because I feel that if they're backed up and they're covering, you know, grass over here, like a nice deeper kind of zone over here, then the way I'm going to run this play, it's not going to be a high percentage. It could be a pick six at worst, you know, or at best it's kind of a bad throw and incompletion. So when I see an alignment like this, is generally when I run bear, ray, flood pass right. Now in all my flood pass rights, my kids back here are pulling and hinging, so they're essentially pulling and then hinging back and just kind of like coming, you know, facing the rush. All right, so here you just have a ray. He's going to go in ray motion on the snap. He's going to come over here, and he's just going to set up to pass block, okay? These guys are just, you know, generally drop back pass blocking, okay? So your route here, you have basically a fly. You can run a fly. You can run a post corner. Some coaches run a post corner. I always run this as a fly because I want to run the safety off, okay? Fullback comes straight out into the flat, okay? And then you have your number one read is right here, your right wing, coming out here and running basically like a 7 to 8 yard square. You can adjust this distance based on the age of your kids. Like 8-year-olds, you may want to set it at 6 yards, 7 yards, but it's a nice tight square out, okay? It's a super hard play to cover because there's a lot of people, you're flooding this right-hand side, and they have a lot of people committed. Like if this backer's already committed or he's up on the line of scrimmage because you've been running power all day, it's a really, really hard play to stop. Okay, so I want to discuss, I'm going to go right into it because it's another part of what I do. I'm going to, right here. All right, so this play, it's bear, rocket, out, flood, pass, right. Now, this is a complementary play in my system to a rocket out 25 counter. I have an actual pass that is this play right here, rocket out, flood pass, right. Now, the only difference in this play is right here. The fullback's assignment has to change because you're losing a blocker on this side because of the rocket out back. Okay, here's your whoop. Okay, now what happens here is instead of going in ray motion, he essentially rockets out. He turns his hips. He runs full speed out this way. When he gets about 5 yards outside of the wing, the ball's called for. Go. He basically runs a vertical route. Okay? Now, typically, this play, the reason I see this play's success is because as soon as you run that rocket out guy right here, this guy, no matter where he is, the cornerback, is going to he's going to pick this guy. Okay? By rule. Okay? So what happens is you still have 2 more receivers. So if they don't make this personnel switch, it's really hard to understand the backer and the safety to make this responsibility switch so that they're going to cover this wing again, which is your first read. Oh, by the way, the fullback is coming out here. Okay. Quarterback, just like the last time. I'm sorry, I didn't run the quarterback's route. He pivots, opens to motion, rolls out behind the fullback, and he sets up right about here for the throw. Okay? On both the Ray flood pass right and the rocket out flood pass right. This is another very, very difficult play to cover out of the double wings. One of my literally personal favorites. All right, so let's go into Nomo forego. Just so I can just kind of show you what it looked like. I mean, honestly, it's a super simple play. It's been really good to me because, again, it's one of those plays where if you start seeing coaches, defensive coordinators that are trying to turn it up on you and you don't like it. All right, so you don't like it. You can roll this play out. Whoa, almost made another center. Okay, Nomo forego. Essentially is no motion to the play. Again, you want to roll out here, set up right here, fullback comes in like this, pass block, and it's just Nomo forego. 2 verticals, wide into the numbers and vertical, wide into the numbers and vertical. Okay? No mo for go. Simple play. Everyone else is pass blocking. Everyone who's left around is just pass blocking straight up. Okay? Just a standard area block. Just give the quarterback time. Just roll away. This is about 5 to 6 yards deep. Okay? That's Nomo forego. All right, so I got another one of my favorites. Now we're going to go over to the Gunwing. So 18 sprint pass. You guys saw a lot of this in the intro video. 18 sprint passes is my main Gunwing pass. Some critical things about this, as you can see, your 3-back comes in just kind of sideways motion. He just kind of karaoke's across. He comes out here to pass block. Quarterback's going to roll out to about 6. He's kind of about center line with where the tight end would be. Okay, basically you have basically a post corner, another post corner. Sometimes I'll run an 8 or 9 yard arrow route. I can sometimes change the routes depending, but these are the base routes. Your fullback in the flat. Okay, super hard play to defend. Now I run a companion play to this in my system, which is called 18 sprint screen. Everything is the same, okay, except for one critical thing. After your quarterback comes here and motions, he's basically going to motion and he's going to set up like he's going to pass block, but then he is going to peel backwards facing the quarterback, like literally wheel and backpedal, okay, like you saw in the intro video. And these guys right here are going to basically pass block for a second, pass block for a second, pass block for a second, and then release. Okay? And what happens is everyone runs the same routes. Quarterback comes here, he gets to this side, okay? And he sucks everybody in, and then he just basically throws a nice little dump off pass to your 3-back. 18 sprint screen. This is a nasty play. Again, it's a companion play to 18 sprint pass. So I'll never come out and run the sprint screen first. I would always run the sprint pass first and then sprinkle in the sprint screen on occasion. It's a nasty screen play. One of the best passing plays there is out of the Gunwing. All right, so the last 2 passing plays that I typically use out of the Gunwing are my 2 play action passes. Gun 34 3 verts and Gun 34 X drag. So I'll show Gun 34 3 verts. Obviously I don't have a defense there. This is something I would run. Again, it is play action. So this is after I've been beating them up with Gun 34 power. It is essentially your 3-back is coming here taking a play action fake. Quarterback just quickly fakes to him with a handoff. Then he just peels to the left, sets up right there for a pass block. Your fullback kind of just steps back, peels out here, just nearest defender, nearest threat. Okay, you have 3 vertical routes, both of your tight ends, and then your wing just going wide. It's usually always this guy who is open like almost every single time. Your quarterback is taking a basic 3-step drop and just letting it fly. That's gun 34, 3 verts. Now, the only changes to X drag, I mean, the theory is the same, but if you're close to the end zone, obviously I wouldn't run a gun 34, 3 verts, but if you still want to run a play action passing play and you're near the end zone or you want to do this for an extra point maybe, okay, X drag. So the only difference is to the routes is your tight end is running a post in, your wing is running a post corner, okay, and your basically will be your X is just going to run a drag across the field just like this. And this is your first read right here. This would be probably your second read. If your quarterback can really throw, it could be this kid, but I would generally suggest if you're trying to throw an extra point, this guy is always open. And that is gun 34 X drag, okay? In my play call system, you notice the gun 34 is telling them that it's a play action pass. It's a play action pass. Anytime they hear a pass play after gun 34, my 3-man knows that he's not actually getting the ball, okay? And that's it, gun 34 X drag. Man, these are pretty much all the passing plays that I would ever need to really have in my system. Sometimes I do some funny stuff. One particular season, I was only running the Gunwing, and I would occasionally come out and I would stand this kid up and stand this kid up. Instead of having him in 3-point stances, I would have them lined up like receivers, and they would be like real close to the tackles. And I think we called it Raven formation. And the kids loved it. You know, we would just run it because it kind of looks like you're going to like pass the ball, and these kids could get out of their breaks quicker. So some of those things we do, man, just to mess with them. Sometimes I do that and just go right back to running the ball. So I hope this helps you with your passing, man, and soldier on this season, man. Wing on.